Oh man, this layout's so scuffed. Let's just scooch that a little bit, maybe. And scooch this a little bit as well. I want to definitely fix the layout a little bit more later, but that's fine. So we have Salad playing Mr. Fellows here. I'm not going to have access to Mr. Fellows' POV, I believe, because I don't think he's streaming in this call as well. So unless I was to hop over into the dojo, I will not have access to it. So that's fine. Let's see. So we have right now a fairly straightforward horse cricket start into a possum bulldog. Fellows is going to be looking for a juicy tier up here to throw all of his opossum stats onto. But it looks like Salad's going to be in a really, really strong spot for the first opening here. Just having access to summons into essentially any pack other than pack 1 tends to do really well early game because only pack 1 has access to early garlic to make the early game really frustrating for everyone else. I don't mind skipping the pig here and instead just statting the camel. Stacking the camel stats is really, really nice. Just gives you a really efficient way to convert one big guy into two big guys. Scary things into our current board that Fellows could pull from tier 3. I'm thinking namely Meerkat. No, he gets Royal Flycatcher, so he over-indexes on our summon tempo, and we just don't need to continue to invest in summons at this point. All we have is a single cricket and the horse setup, so we just don't really need it. I don't know about the pig cell right here in this exact moment. I'd rather save the gold for tier 3, looking for more camels, looking for rabbit potential. There's just generally a lot of good stuff that you want from the next tier up. Ultimately, it's probably fine, though. We do get a nice tempo Mingo in here that we'll be able to pill eventually once we find a second good pill target to throw the Mingo stats onto. And it's just good in battle here. While Fellows does not currently have a real board. Yeah, Fellows still does not have a real board. Bowtie for Mr. Fellows. Yeah, huh? Hey, LJ. And welcome in, Laos. Blowfish is typically a bad take into this pack, just because of the presence of Flea, making it really awkward to run long term, but it does cause a lot of ship damage and just makes Fellow's life very, very difficult if he goes into tech without having access to Flea first. For example, PDF is very, very, very iffy into Blowfish until you hit the Flea to make it so that it does 7 damage hits instead of 4 damage hits into it. And Flea's base starting stat line of 5-2 means that it's very susceptible to getting sniped out by a random Blowfish hit, as Blowfish deals out 3 damage snipes. Was he considering... What is he considering selling for here? Or he's just considering taking the salad as is? Reasonable enough. Very, very reasonable. Unfortunately, Fellows does pick up a Flea here. Because we positioned like this, we're always going to have our Blowfish get weakened. I don't think there's a way around it, though. The Blowfish is too buffed to be able to dodge weakness ever. So it's a little bit funky, and that kind of has me leaning more towards fronting Blowfish and backing Cricket to receive the horse buffs instead. But Fellows looks like they are going for a non-committal money line here. So he has Manta Ray, but he doesn't have any... He doesn't have Weasel, he doesn't have Gazelle. This is probably a pivot Manta that he's going to use the money to try to set up for a better board and then get off of Manta Ray. I don't think he's going to go full money build here. Not too sure what's really scary here, because I'm not particularly scared by Fellows' board. And I'm not sure what long-term makes it scary. Welcome in, No Cap. Does have access to Opossum too. The only thing I see this Opossum getting sold onto is Flea. If Fella's feeling really greedy, he can sell it onto Weasel, but you just can't force money from this position. The issue of Gazelle is that it's very negative tempo the turn that you pick it up, and instead he's continuing to commit more to money. Does it get there this turn? It does get there this turn. Manta's base stat line, and it looks like 2 salads gets him there, which is pretty nice. He could just front the Scorp for the turn just to scam the round, because I don't think we need the seal, if I'm to be honest. But this Scorp is quite funny. Scorp makes it really hard for fellows to deal with. Scorp is just really hard for fellows to deal with. If Fellows is scared of Scorp, he buys Fig preemptively, but that's the only defensive equipment that Golden Pack has access to that can do anything about the presence of a singular Scorpion. Especially front Scorpion. If there was back Scorpion, which, why? You could replace it with Cuttlefish. If it was a really healthy Scorpion, you could overwrite it with Flea. Could technically squid it, but like none of those solutions are great. But yeah, he's just forcing money line at this point, and he's not going to have the time to stabilize here. I think this is very clearly in the bag for a Salad here. He got a Stoat Cycle into a Saiga, but that Saiga is likely disappearing next turn. And he's just overbuffed this Royal Flycatcher, so it feels awkward to get off of it. Yeah, I don't mind this at all, to be entirely honest. And we just pick up the turtle to protect our camel, just in case. Just in case they show up with a Flea at this point. I don't think they're showing up with a Flea. You bought Macaque, so now you're really feeling forced into the 4-squad line, along with Manta Ray 2, Banana on the Macaque. He's so locked into this line, but it's not good. Figs? Who cares? If he Figs, that means you replace 8/8 of stats on his board with a Fig. No, not necessarily. He's probably not fronting a... He's probably not replacing the Banana Macaque for it. But he does pick up, yep. And that is a Nyala in the back. Fellows could very reasonably try to pivot off into Trumpet Exodia here, just getting chocolate cakes on that guy and trying to force the line there, which is very, very feasible. Oh, I don't have music in the background. I was like, why can I hear myself think so much? Let's fix that. Cool. Wait, that's Cuttlefish level 2. How did he spike Cuttlefish level 2 just immediately? And there's a Saiga. He is making this game very, very competitive for what I thought was a fairly clean and done game. Does Better Snipes win that for him? I feel like they don't. I do think we stack Turtle here, because we do want onboard Turtle into what's currently happening here. We don't want to lose our perks potentially for free, and it's just kind of good. Do you like Kitty here? I think it's Kitty over Snake. He pilled Spider. True, he pilled Spider. So the reason I prefer kitty over snake here is because we already have blowfish. We already have our passive snipes. They're going to maybe consider buying potatoes. Probably not, given the state of their board. But if most of their team is killing themselves into then going a 50-50 dog, you're not getting a ton of snipes with the snake anyways. And we don't have summon support to make it good. So I'd rather just get a couple of big guys so we can potentially overwhelm big dog. Because I think that's the scariest thing that could be whipped out right about now is just overwhelmingly large dog, which somehow a 16-16 is an overwhelmingly large dog because of our board state. You just rip this pizza. I feel like this board can go the distance. We just need the stat. Can I pet that dog? Nope. What are we looking for to put on the turtle here? I want to pet that dog. Dude, I saw that clip for the first time. I did not realize that it was about a black bear. I want to pet that dog. Honey, that ain't a dog. Yeah, melon turtle's fine here, I think. This turtle's large enough that it can start trading potentially. Leopard would be quite nice. So the reason that leopard is good into Fellow's board is that if we deny the chocolate cake from beluga by sniping out the beluga before it can try to attack, then it doesn't get the +3 experience from the chocolate cake, so the Nyala comes out as a level 1. So it has half the stats, as well as only giving 8 trumpets instead of 16, so the dog comes out half as large as well. There's other upside too if it's just super disruptive and hard for fellows to deal with. Snipes in general with his pack, short of buying potato and trying to stat. But if he's buying potato, then he's buying worse equipment, which is good for us. I think we win this round. Yeah. That board looks so much scarier than its previous board, and we just cleanly went out. I don't love the chocolate on this cat, but it's fine. We're on 4 lives. The reason I don't love it normally is that you just want to be buying food with cat and maybe consider separate stacking cats. Because spending 6 gold on getting... spending 6 gold on getting double effective foods versus spending 9 gold to get... well, not double, triple effective foods is a lot. But I don't hate either of these options. I don't think the Wolvie is particularly effective here, so I like just selling the skunk for 1 more cat and just really scaling to the moon here, setting ourselves up to potentially pivot into a leopard. Welcome in, Ray. Can I pet that cat? Dude, me trying to talk up to all the local cats, like, here, kitty, 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 can I pet you? And they say, absolutely not. Let me go grab some water really quick. I got stream ready in a hurry because the set was happening just as I decided, can I stream it? We'll see if this is the last match. I feel like he's not getting there against this, right? Surely? No. Not even old water? Not even fake drinking water. Big changes. Yeah, you don't need the skunk here. The chocolate is useless. You just want to look for a good stat food. Salad is a fine end on. I don't think it's a good 7 gold food. But we'd have to double roll into decent food for it to be better. But man, we're finding no stat food here. No real stat food. Salad does not count. Boar is whatever. Cast a definite skip here. Could we get a real stat food here? There we go. This pair is also a definite freeze. It just represents such a large injection of stats here. Alright, I'm grabbing some water. Still a little bit scary. These shops make that salad look good. Real. I think you take the pear here, you sell one of the kitties, you cycle the cow. And then we can consider the snake here for sure. It's like a snake, I can take out my jaw and put it back in real quick. Mouse. Do we want the extra snipes here? I feel like the extra snipes are decent. Especially since they're already farming us with pita bread anyways, may as well try to make the snipes consequential. Are we just looking to pill the mammoth here? Real question. Because if we're skipping chocolates with mammoth here, then the mammoth is definitely not a long-term friend. Where food? Dude, where's our pills? Where's our pizzas? Where's our pears? Where's our sushi? Sushi moss? This is why I hate Cat, man. Cat feels so bad to run so much of the time. Because either you high roll like crazy, or you're on a perma diet, melon supplements only. This is pain. Realistically, he could have staked this back cat to have drawn a couple of these rounds that he's losing, but man, I think it's better to like stake our front guy there. This leopard doesn't do much. No, this leopard. No. Okay. Do we ever get this leopard to 24 attack? I don't think we do, right? Because the only way that this leopard is relevant is if it has 24 attack to be able to snipe the Luga. This seems much more relevant, though. I like that a lot. Now, do we freeze roll apple here? Nope. We will not be intimidated. Yeah, this game's been wacky. I'm really shocked that Fellows was able to claw his way out of it. He pet that Rilla before buying. Good boy. That blowfish screwed us so many times. Yeah, that Rilla was bad too. Low rolled on food in the late game. Fellows had enough time to actually set up his late game properly. I think I just take Beaver there, right? I don't think there's any permutation of their pack that has Ant buffing a 4-1 better than just having the stats from the Beaver. Because the Beaver's a 3-2, gives you perma stats when you sell them. Ant is in theory very sellable after like the first few opening turns. You can sell it on turn 3, you can sell it probably like by turn 5 normally. So right now, Fellas has a really good tempo start here with lots and lots of trumpets going. Pytamer is just a really solid early game unit. It converts the 1 trumpet into a 3 damage snipe, which is really hard for most other packs to handle. And honestly, this dog is still not fantastic into those Pytamer snipes, which they're probably going to be sticking around for a bit. The reason it's not great is 3 damage is going to nuke the ant, nuke the rabbit, and 2 swings onto the dog, and it's chipped to oblivion. So I don't think this board almost ever gets there this turn, but maybe. Yeah, super hard turn to win just because there's not enough HP on the board. Don't hate that. That's kind of nice. Typically, I advise against one into golden pack, but I think this gold breakpoint is totally fine. You definitely take the pig as well, because our sell slots right now are pig, pill slot is Mingo, and if we're not able to transition off of those quickly enough, then we can also just sell the swan as well if we need the extra space. I think we're over-indexing on their board. I think we can put the pig further up because it's so likely to get sniped out by Pytamarin. And 4 damage guaranteed seems way nicer than trying to greed it when these Groundhogs are probably getting stacked. Yeah. Do we ever get there that turn, though? So front pig Okos, second Mingo kills if it doesn't get sniped out. I think dog still dies too quickly, even if the rabbit and the swan in the back get sniped out instead of the swan. Or instead of the Mingo. It's tough. I don't mind the rabbit style here at all for guaranteed stats with Snail and better tempo. Because our biggest liability here is just dying before we can get to the late game. I don't mind fronting these. Ooh, I like this positioning best, actually. Because the 2/4 Swan is guaranteed to live a snipe from the Pytamarin, which makes it quite a bit nicer. And he's going Meerkat into our board right now. Oh. Oh, that is painful. He had such good positioning into that board. Falcon got no value. I can see the temptation behind Giraffe, but it's fairly bad right now. There we go, there's a real unit. We could stack those, rip a salad. Could buy, sell a beaver. And then buy the sheep. But it's definitely better to just roll for triples with the 2 gold instead of buy selling a beaver for better tempo on this turn. It will be super annoying for us if they do steal one of these sheep, though, because they do have a flying fish. The flying fish is going to give it +2 experience, and if it hits +2 experience, all of a sudden that is a 5/5 sheep that's summoning 4/4s, and it's going to be really, really obnoxious. Because that is just a huge amount of stats for our team to deal with. And Fellows does position to try to steal a sheep here. He does successfully steal a sheep. Yeah, this is pretty brutal right now. Fellows board kind of nasty. Fellows board is nasty. That's good. Pill save as well, and just buy pair. You can definitely just... I feel like pill is safe here, right? They could go and try and pick up ailments at this point, but their board is fairly tied up in what it's doing right now that I don't know if they want to easily slot in a flea. They could replace the Pied Tamarin for it, but they could also just buy a Scalar to make the Falcon better, which I think is, frankly, just better to do. Why are we picking up the Dolphin here? Just to deny... Actually, I don't hate it. So, to counter this, Fellows would have to be forward squatting right now to give himself... No, you keep the deer front. The deer front means that he can't steal it with Falcon without running a forward squad, which is really important for us. We need him to not be able to easily steal the deer. And sure enough, he's greeting positioning on it to keep the other guy up. Gonna be making a new YouTube video that's gonna be called Super Cool Old Bird. That was disgusting. That was disgusting. I don't know why he's busting out Danger Pack. Danger Pack has a really bad matchup into this pack. You just go, you can force Trumpet so easily against Danger Pack and do really, really well. So it seems very strange that he's pulling this pack out. I'm not the best Golden Pack player, but I was able to fairly consistently... I won twice against Salad running both PDF boards and the Trumpets. I don't know, this feels super risky. This feels super risky. I'd much rather see Star Pack or a Unicorn coming out into this. I'm trying to think of other packs that have decent matchups in the Golden. Star Pack can just stall it out. But this pack doesn't really stall it out. Yeah, I don't love Syola here. Do love a tear up. Tukshi. Oh, this is such good tempo for the turn here. Do you just rip the Atlantic Krill here? Gold efficient? Gold efficient? Nope. I think the only thing that this would ever be bad into is Guinea Fowl. And Fellows could bust out a Guinea Fowl board here. Fellows could bust out a Guinea Fowl board here. They have Cone Snail. Cone Snail can lead to it. But Guinea Fowl is very niche. And going big guy into the pack that only knows the game plan big guy seems questionable. Losing this turn is kind of criminal. Or drawing this turn is kind of criminal. I do love me a Sacker Falcon. But it's... Is it correct here? The pygmy hog is very annoying for this pack to deal with. I think I prefer third position Chukchi here to try to waste the Ethiopian wolves. So we have a better matchup into that guy. Worked out well enough in the end, but Angel Shark is good. We get slightly worse Sea Lion. Very nice, very nice. I know Tasmanian Devil can be good in this matchup for denying tech units. I don't think it's a take over long-term scaling here, especially free scaling. I don't think these are good enough. Unless you're thinking of taking the tack in there. But we should also just be buying these stat foods right now. We really shouldn't be delaying them. Because you want to leave your food shop open to find more of them. And stat foods are our tempo on this turn. We don't really care about queuing up our tier ups for turn 5 with this pack most of the time. The reason being that tier 4s are really good in this pack, tier 5s are kind of iffy. Okay, now we're interested in buying stat foods. There's our rolling away monkey. Is it too late here? It feels late. I don't love it. We could just throw a Cadro on the Sacre Falcon or the Tasmanian Devil and call it a day. Just getting the summon 2-3 into their existing board is still fairly reasonable. Or we do the substitution here. Okay, no, I like this. I'm down with this. This tree kangaroo is actually very, very real for the turn. It might scam around. Yeah, randomizing where those stats go is quite nice. Thank you for the stat donation. The Tasmanian Devil appreciates it. Now, the issue is that this tree kangaroo is very, very easy to play around. Just throw a perk or throw something useless in the back. But if you throw something useless in the back and you don't perk your... No, actually, it's not super easy to play around, is it? You'd need to perk both the Osprey and the Muskox to try to deny value. And that's spending a lot of time not buying good perks. Spaghetti feels kind of fake. We just don't have the stats to be able to use it efficiently, which is annoying. Ah, no, that works. That works really nicely. Because the Tasmanian Devil is not going to attack the Fig unit, but it's going to wipe the Fig from the Fig unit. I like that a lot. That's really good, actually. There's potentially a play of using the Love Potion on the Tokushi here just to have it. But it does make positioning super, super jank. Could have been good, though. Could have been good. Just getting another Tokushi, another +3/+3 in battle, and it's just a 3/3 starting stat line. Could have sold the Ethiopian Wolf for it. Yeah, and he's still just donating stats over here. Very thoughtful of the Mr. Fellows himself. Bonobo! Is it Bonobo time? Oh, it's Bonobo time. Yeah, copy the Taz Devil here. Well done. I think I still prefer using the Rollaway Monkey on... Oh, no, you can't use it on the Togen because the Togen's going to, before attack, transform itself. So it's effectively wasting it. It's part of the reason why Gross Michelle is kind of a weird perk. It's very rough to work in a lot of the transform lines. So the main thing that you'd want to throw it on is a Togen Babarusa, because Togen Babarusa has a negative ability. And so spending 3 gold to get a basic tier 1 ability that is good on your tier 1, it's only really balanced out by that. Especially since it tends to screw you in these later game moments. Himo, welcome in. Did we just get stat check there? That was probably... Oh, no, wait. We wiped the chocolate cake, right? Because we jump attack the macaque. Macaque dies. We wipe the chocolate cake. They summon a 8/8 dog. Just kidding. We have a new game plan. We're just looking for chocolate here. Unlucky. All we need is chocolate. So for those that have not seen this before, this is one of the outs of late game Danger Pack, and the best scaler in Danger Pack by far is the Blue Whale. It shop scales +2/+2 and wipes your entire board and gives you 10 extra gold to play with. So you start your turn with 20 gold, a larger shop, and you need to fill in your entire board, potentially including perks. And so what people will do is they will sell down their board in order to try to spike level 2 and level 3 Blue Whale in order to be able to get that shop scaling going even faster to try to lock down the game. Welcome in, Sonoy. Thank you for the hydrate raffle. He is going to very convincingly lose this turn. But that is totally fine here. So long as we find... There it is. Oh, there it is. Can't take bonobos with this because they will get wiped at the start of turn. We don't care about those vanilla beans at all. I think the only things that we consider here are an Antarctic krill or hitting another chocolate. 3 chocolates and 20 gold. So 11 rolls and 9 purchases. No, 4 chocolates. So 12 gold spent, 8 rolls. That's nutty. Because it's about a 10% chance of hitting chocolate in a shop. Okay, now he's got to convert this into not losing. I like getting this okra permanently onto the Blue Whale as well. Yeah. Just don't lose 5-head. Real. I mean, that's the strat here. You can't take Silky Safaka with this board. It just doesn't fit nicely. But he kind of has to here, I suppose. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just slots in the Pygmy Hippo and saves the Silky Safaka for next turn. If that wins the round, it was a good take. Otherwise, I think it was just take Antarctic Krill for next turn. Oh my god, it draws. Oh, this game is a lock and a seal. If you're losing, have you tried winning? So real, so true. Sumatran tiger? Ugh. Dude, look at how big his shop already is, too. Fellows has level 2 bop over there with Manta Ray, too. But I don't think it competes with this ever. It's like, do I tiger any of these? You could be greedy here and just Sard Karants as well, since you have your board filled out. I believe Sard Karants will trigger, so long as you place it on somebody that has higher attack than the blue whale. So it's just decent setup for next turn. That is most of the advice in the Art of War. It's a good read. Good read. Just don't lose, Warhead. Oh no, 1616 dog. Whatever shall we do? Oh no. Yeah, he's cooked. Try sabotaging any supply lines. Also consider lying. Dude, lying is my favorite strat. Oh my god, look at this beautiful board. I love how Blue Whale just puts all the other scaling in this pack to absolute shame. It's just, can you get it off the ground by making it to turn 9 with 5 or 6 lives? Because you're going to need them. Are you gonna see G-Torque get above 50 health in the shop? Come on. Is there anything that fellows can realistically do at this point to counter this? I don't think there is. It's just too big of a stat check. Even with getting full bop triggers this turn, he's getting +6/+6. It matches... Oh my god, it draws. Reroll, reroll, reset. So at best he can match the scaling, but he also is scaling a beluga whale, and that beluga whale is going to... it's not going to do anything with those stats. So the only thing that's really receiving stats here is the Manta Ray as well as the macaque. I don't think he spends money on these perks this turn. At least I don't think he has to. No, that's fine. A 38/38 blue whale in shop. Look at how tiny our blue whale is. So it went from 12/12 over the course of 5 turns to 38/38. That is +26/+26. Nicely done. He is well on his way to a max shop. And once it's a max shop, he can't just sell the blue whale and start investing in levels if it gets there. It realistically should not get there. Fellows board is so capped. Yeah, Fellows is so dead here. There's no coming back. Snow Leopard with Silky Sapaka does feel weird. The reason Snow Leopard with Silky Sapaka feels weird is that Silky Sapaka has a higher base attack. And so what ends up happening here is the Silky Sapaka would trigger first, denying the Snow Leopard from using its ability, which is Blue whales needs to be tier 5. Wait, so true, infected, so true. I think I just ripped the Antarctic krill there, but I could be greedy. I'd rather just throw a perk on one of these guys instead of trying to set up for next turn. Yeah, no, I haven't been playing. I'm just commentating over everything. This is currently a set between SaladAss and Mr. Sweatfellows. Salad is on my team for Team Tour. We've already won the week. So this is just a nice set for getting context, or not for getting context, for seeing just how good our record can get this week. I think we're currently 6-1 overall. And I'm going to have my set for this week on Monday. So tomorrow, unfortunately. Wanted to have it today, but... or on Saturday, but no luck. I think we have a lot more trouble that game if we didn't get Whale 3. If we just got Whale 2. Because Fellows was keeping pace shockingly well. Is there a limit to stats? Yes. So 50-50 is the max cap for stats unless otherwise specified. There are 2 units that can break the bounds. The first one being Behemoth, which can go to 100-100 for both attack and health. And then Giant Tortoise, which can reach 100 HP. It's still technically capped to 50 attack. It'd be really hard to get it to 50 attack even because of how its ability works. Giant Tortoise is a tier 4 that starts as a 4-8, I think. And it gains +2, +4, +6 HP at the end of turn and resets its attack to either 4, 8, or 12, depending on its level. Dude, Fan Muscle is such a nasty pet. Old-ish near garlic on tier 1. So good. Reducing all damage by just 1 for 2 swings when you're likely only getting 2 swings anyways. Ooh. Ooh, this feels a little bit funky, but I like it. Rolling Monkey is always good. And I don't mind this Adorip Mannequin. It's going to get 2 triggers, so it's going to be a 2/7 in battle, which isn't bad. The question is, do you front the Arip here? I feel like you definitely consider it in case of Lizard upside. Every time a game has an arbitrary upgrade limit, I want to play a game mode of uncapped everything. Yeah, this game has a lot of pets that are only balanced because they have caps on them. I don't know if I ever uploaded the video that I recorded of one of size packs that I ran. But one of the pets in Golden Pack is the Bird of Paradise. And Bird of Paradise is every time you spend 7 gold in a turn, it gives +1/+1 to 3 pets. And so what ends up happening is you can stack a lot of money in a turn using pets like Old Sauropod that gave money every time you ate a food and had a trigger limit of 3. You could Oyster Cycle, and Oyster just gives you +1 gold. There's a lot of ways to generate a ton of cash, though. And so you could rush to a 50-50 board of all level 3 tier 6s relatively quickly. By turn 12 to 13, you could, on a high roll, get there. It's nasty work. Absolutely nutty. So one of the fixes they did is they put a cap on Bird of Paradise. They have a trigger limit of 3, so once it's used all 3 triggers, it will no longer provide any additional value. But yeah, there's no going beyond level 3 pets. It's looking for... Ooh, I like this. Is that a Tyrian shop to make the animal cry? It's water. They drink it and they feel healthier. Give them +2 to their lowest stat. Well, at least we know the Getchi Red P wasn't relevant into this board. Oh my god. That is such a narrow margin. No, Humphead Ras feels weird here. The reason Humphead Ras feels weird is because it reduces the attack of the highest attack pet, but because it's started battle, same trigger as Meerkat, and it has 6 attack instead of 2 attack, like the Meerkat is always going to go off after the Humphead Ras, which makes this really, really awkward. Kakapo is a +3/+3 in battle, but I don't think it's good enough to justify. Ooh, that's pretty huge. I don't know if I front the Tuxi here, if I put it in 4th. I feel like I 4th the Tuxi here. Because I want to make sure that the Weasel gets dealt with by everything else, and then he's got so much attack though. I don't know. Is there better positioning there that ever wins it? +4 attack. I don't know. Giant Pangasius can get this done though, that's for sure. Our guy can do so many snipes here, and especially if we try to cramp some more. My PG stream! That's one of my mods! Yeah, Giant Pangasius here, though, does seem quite nice. Force is a little bit awkward because you don't really want to be transforming either the fan muscle or the Tuxi, but I think we can reasonably just say that the fan muscle has done his job. Ban him. Mods? I don't think... Does Getchi Red P fix any breakpoints here? He's been really looking at it, but I don't think it fixes any breakpoints. Is he planning to sell the Humphead Ras here? Because the issue is that we aren't really getting 5 attacks in. I mean, we are, but we're not. And part of me wants to sell the Tuxi now to just get the extra Pang guy snipes in. Because the extra stats from the Tuxi are good, but it's basically +6 attack. Sorry, there are a lot of questions that people ask about what could be done in this game, but unfortunately, there's no mod support. So all you can do is play in customs and then complain about how people play the broken stuff all the time. Because there is already a lot of difficulty of balancing the several hundred pets that are in the game, especially with some of them having very strong abilities. Okay, so this fan muscle reduces attack by 3. No mod support. I can write garbage mods no one asked for, like in PlateUp. I'm glad you acknowledge that they're bad. They're fun, but they're so bad. Dude, Fellows positioned around what Salad has been doing every turn to punish it finally, and it didn't work. What? I haven't played SAP for a while because I spent too much time modding World Blocks game. World Box? What's World Blocks? God, I can't speak. I'm assuming that's not Roblox though. I like getting the GTAM in here just to have an extra trigger for the giant Pangasius here. He has arrived. I mainly did them because I could. The stir fry thing was like 5 lines of code above the template. UFO having 100 HP lower than human HP angered me, and I made a mod to fix it. Perfect. It is a sandbox game. Yeah, I need to put some more time and effort into working on my game. I'm still not great at doing the architecture side of things. And so I need to definitely do some more reading and get some more practice in it. No gameplay whatsoever. You just watch a building, AI building civilizations and going to war with each other. All snap. Alright, he's got a hard choice to make here. Who's he got to sell? He obviously can't sell the rollaway monkey, so it has to just be this humphead Ras here. He's just thinking about if he can justify it or not. Regardless of what you get here, you're definitely taking one of these transforms, unless you want to keep this on board to try to high roll something good from him. Albatross? Albatross doesn't do anything. Albatross is for tier 4 and below. G-Pang is a tier 5. Yeah, he... Imagine. The mods did imagine, or the creators did imagine. They didn't like it very much. Oh, let's go. Drawing and getting money. Get farmed. Dude, we just need G-Pang 2 here, right? If we hit G-Pang 2, we're feeling way better here. Zap, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. How you doing? How you doing? We need more attack on G-Tams. Maybe? No. Yeah, this African wild dog kid is bad. Transform again, please. Oh my god. I think you need to say the full transform instead of just trans again, please. Hope you're doing well, Zap. Stake on jump pad is just a missile. It do be kind of nice. And it actually gets here this turn, which is nutty. Oh, and there's the level finally. I'd be so tempted for this garbage albatross. This albatross is so bad, though. Dub skip. Yeah, it almost certainly is, right? The only other way you're treating it is to you stack the G-Tams in order to onboard the albatross here, I imagine. Unless you want to Silky Safaka and double transform. Wait, this is sick. This is sick. So he rips the screw the red panda. You rip the vanilla beans here, you onboard the Silky Safaka, and you put it into second position here. You need it second position though, because you're double transforming all of these guys. You gotta move forward 1. Because you're just making a transform sandwich here. You get more transforms out of it. Come on. No! No! I don't know why he transformed. I'll be honest. And he's taking advantage of the fact that we have African wild dog now to just position his... Is the beluga still the stack target here? Yeah, because it still gets to use its chocolate cake. So this African wild dog is actively trolling us now. Especially since it has enough attack that it outpaces both the Silky Safaka and the Rollaway Monkey. Oh, it's a level and an ob. Why are you putting him in timeout? As anti-tomato technology. Abysmal throw. Yeah, this game feels weird. Granted, I don't think Fellows was doing anything super meta against this pack. Fellows definitely could have stomped harder by just running more traditional lines in this pack, I feel like. Why do we get an instant transform?